law firm in Florida. Um, Profitability, revenue's there. Revenue's there. They had, millions of revenue a year. However, the vast majority of those funds going towards expenses to fund continued operations, as well as salaries for highly paid employees, including owner, 100% owner. Okay. Um, so no profitability. In fact, at the time I bring you the financials to buy the law firm in Florida, they have probably 2 months, 3 months maybe of operating capital left. Okay. So, however, owner states that his goodwill is enormous. He and let's assume arguendo that it's true. I think it could certainly be disputed, but he says his goodwill is enormous. He's a good marketing. He's a great marketer. People trust him. They like him. So therefore, he believes his firm is worth $8 million. I don't know how he's calculating that. What things do you need to know to figure out what it's worth, and what concerns do you have, if any?
Yeah, I mean, so essentially you're saying the business doesn't, it's not profitable.
Yeah, at this point, at least, it's not profitable. They don't have enough money coming in to cover their operations. In about 3 months, they'll be in the red.
Yeah, yeah. Those are tough scenarios. And I see that from time to time where you've got a nice business, it's operating, it's got a lot of employees, there's a lot of revenue and things coming through it, but the earnings just aren't there. And really, that type of business is probably only going to be valuable to maybe like a strategic buyer, somebody who sees value in maybe they have their own cost already, like their own back office costs, and they can reduce some of those things off of the profit and loss statement. But that's really a tricky scenario as far as evaluating something like that because you can't use a necessarily a traditional valuation method. So that's really going to be dependent on the synergies of the buyer and where they think they can save. And then obviously, if the guy, it's probably still not going to be in the realm of $8 million, for example, because it's all about return on investment and what does it add in terms of value if you were to roll it into your business. Um, so I think that, you know, probably determining the synergistic strategies on that, but it's going to be really hard to reconcile that gap between what the owner wants and what somebody thinks it's worth. And in that case, a lot of businesses end up not selling, and therefore you know, they don't sell and they either continue to go as they are, or perhaps they revisit it down the road when they're a little bit more realistic.